Hello, I'm Bookface, and welcome to another drawing video, speed drawing video thing. We're gonna pretend I didn't repeat myself there because I don't know why I did. So in this video is one of my, unique ideas. I'm using slight inspirations from, obviously the designs for Humongousaur from Ben 10, but also the Muto from the Godzilla movie, which I don't actually think I've watched. I've heard of them, and I think it's a cool design, so that's all I need. Basically, I just wanted the concept of big fists, and as you'll see, I really don't know how to draw hands in fists. And I still don't by the end, I'm pretty sure, but I think I made something that looked reasonably. Yeah, I'll give you a little insider tip from that little section where I copied the fist. That was because I was like, I'm not doing that again. I couldn't even get the fist right the first time. And this is me just really messing around with proportions. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't going the way I want it. Story of my life. And then I had like a weird little stylistic phase of just really using that line tool to make very precision everything, even in shading. And it wasn't the best. Watch me desaturating way too much. But also, fair warning: if you don't like gore, don't watch this, because that is basically the essence of this design. Big monster, giant sack of gore, basically. I cannot express this enough. I basically just wanted to draw something big nasty, but instead of just, basic nasty, which would just be like, I don't know, drawing a bunch of body horror, I wanted a big monster that was also big nasty. I'm so good with words, aren't I? I'm not really sure what I was going for at certain points. I think it somehow ended up being hippo-esque, which was not my intention. I don't know what my intention was. Probably almost lizard-like, in the sense the Humongousaur being kind of lizard-like, but sometimes the drawing just takes you places, and I think it worked out pretty good in the end. So I can't complain. I can complain quite a bit, but I will cease to. I've found that doesn't make the best video, as shown by my Jaguaro drawing video, where I literally did nothing but complain about the drawing the entire time. So yeah, this part's just me putting in a bunch of old tattered wounds, looking like Dobby from My Hero Academia. I am making a lot of My Hero Academia jokes recently. Hey, there's a lot of stuff in that show. It's easy to make a good reference. Even though this was just a quick way that I found to make the scars and meat generally look kind of textured, I actually do like how it looks. It gives the impression of like tendons and muscle. So it's not just an open wound, it's actually like torn away flesh. And there's something underneath. Completely by accident, but hey, happy accidents. I feel like there was going to be a second part to that joke, but there was not, so happy accidents. Let's see what. It's just kind of funny seeing the little revisions, because at that part there and a later part you'll see, I know very well that what I said was approximately just, oh, whoops, and then confusion. Like, with how fast the drawing goes, it looks like I know exactly what I'm doing, because I'm not hesitating, I'm not slowing down, I know precisely where I'm trying to take this. I have no idea what I'm doing ever, so oh god, what happens? So I flipped the eye. uh, I'm pretty sure I did it in like one of the stupidest ways possible also, but and just me adding some ketchup. Nothing like a little bit of ketchup on your meat Goliath. So the name of this creature is the Garboliath, which is Goliath and garbage. But initially it was Gargoliath, with the same idea, but like I wanted to leave more Goliath in there, but it sounded weird and sounded a lot more like it was referencing gargling than garbage. So yeah, it's just a funny little side note. Man, this takes. I'm saying this takes a while. I have spent so many times just making the tiny little details on some of these. This is nothing. This is just a little tedious. This one turned out a lot simpler than I thought, and I'm a little disappointed because, like, so far, I think I've only done like two speed drawings that are just my ideas, no inspiration or anything necessarily, just ideas that came to me. And I feel like neither of them really live up to exactly what I want them to be. Like, this one comes out a little simplistic. I can see like 1,000 things I could have done better or different. And the first one, it just, I don't know, it just didn't have as much of a cool energy as I thought it would. Uh, Turns out having inspiration is very helpful. I do like the very basic placing of the tongue in between the teeth instead of like just behind one or the other. It's a simple thing, but I don't know what that nose is. Just, but yeah, the harsh shading lines, while they do okay in certain parts, it's basically just a poor man's outline line art sketch. But I don't normally do line art, and yeah, it really has no shading in it other than those harsh lines separating different parts. Wow, this background looks god awful. Like, I work on it more, and it's gonna be slightly better by the end. But man, this why is he standing in a pool of mustard? Oof. I mean, he is the giant garbage boy, big old nasty guy. But oof, too nasty for my blood and all of his blood. Yeah, I definitely could have done more with his background. I basically only did a background so he wouldn't just be floating in space. I didn't really have any idea or need to make a background really. I just did because like, well, he's gonna be standing there otherwise. Then I made a bunch of rocks because they rock. That's why. uh, the only reason that isn't the worst part of this video is because this wasn't my best drawing. But yeah, I definitely can think of a lot of things I would have done differently with this. But at the time, I think this was as good as I could make it, just about. This weird little stink cloud, and I think this turned out fairly good. It's just it didn't turn out exactly as I wanted, but I think it turned out a little better. Because I think if it was too visible, then it would seem cartoony. But with it just being so blurred out that it's barely even. Oh, there's my little whoopsie doodle. And then I have to risk messing all of them up because I made that one little teensy error. And just feel like, yep, there's the contrast, saturation, and almost done with the drawing, and boom, there it is. And here we got our final product. Despite all my many complaints, what happened to the rocks? I just noticed that. I must have done some texturing thing after I finished recording. Whatever. Like I was saying, despite all the many complaints I had, I do think this turned into a pretty solid, little piece of art. It obviously has its things I could have done differently, done a little better, but ultimately I think it's got some character. I think it's fairly unique, even though I couldn't get everything done the way I wanted, like the hands. They still ultimately turned into mostly what I was looking for. I'd definitely be I'd definitely be down to maybe redraw this in the future, just for the sake of I don't know, seeing what I could do with the new tools at my disposal. But ultimately, I don't think this turned out that bad, considering I I had a lot less of the skills, the tools, advantages, anything that I do now. Like I think this turned out pretty good. I'm looking forward to showing some of my newer drawings. So far, I've only done one in the new year that I think is really really good. That I've had all my new techniques and tools available. But I look forward to doing more of them. It's a lot of fun. Turns out drawing really fun. So yeah, that's about it for now. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. Check out my other drawings. You can see how I've improved over time. And even though they're still a little rough sometimes, I do think I have improved greatly from the beginning. And that's about it. See you next time. Bye.